So, if you are serious about growing your production and building a business that doesn't stop when you do, then these weekly mastermind drops are going to be for you. I'm going to pull back the curtain on exactly what's working right now for top agents across the country. So, let's get to work.
All right, Freedom Team, good morning. It is good to see everybody. Hope you're all doing well wherever you are. If you are a guest with us, welcome. It's great to have you with us. You're always welcome here. Every Tuesday, we're doing this, okay? So every Tuesday, Freedom Team Zoom.live. Come join us, 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. It's the same Zoom link every week. So these have been awesome. We've been doing these now for our Freedom Team group. Sean, how long? 4 years? 3 years?
What's
4
going
years?
on? Yeah, I think it's
Got to be
close to
4 years,
4.
close to it. So, man, we just have a whole library now of just, gosh, recordings that are awesome. So many ways and just ideas to grow your business. And you're going to pick up things from other people on here every time. Whether it's a topic that you have an interest in or not, I would tell you just put it on your calendar, block it out, come, show up, because you'll pick up nuggets from agents, literally all over the country. So, Marcelino, good to see you. Jim just got in. Brad Carr, good to see you here.
Good morning.
It's good to have you guys here. So today, I know the text went out a little bit ago. Normally, the first Tuesday of every month, we have Nick Krem coming in for an AI update. Nick is on the boat. He and a bunch of our agents actually as well are on a cruise right now that went out of Florida. Brent Gove had a big event that they did on a cruise ship. So they actually took off Sunday. I think they get back, Wednesday, Thursday here this week. But Nick is actually out there. He's actually one of the featured speakers out there. So we're not doing AI today. We'll bring that back. Of course, he'll be back next month, the first Tuesday of September. But I wanted to bring Steve and Kevin in. It's been a long time since we've had these guys come in here, probably a couple years, I'm thinking. It's been a while. And Steve and Kevin, the founders of this company, Done For You Real Estate. I'm going to let them explain the whole thing. They're actually part of EXP. Kelly Fasterling introduced them to EXP several years ago, and they brought their whole brokerage over here. So it's now Done For You Real Estate, brokered by EXP. But they do residential real estate out there in Utah, but one of their biggest parts of their business, huge part of their business, is what they're doing to help just the mom and pop investor all over the country. And they've got just a bunch of people, and there's so many ways that it can work for all of us as agents for your own, future in terms of, rental properties, retirement, that kind of stuff, but also what you can provide for your clients, which is the main thing here. And I'll go into some of that, what's happened for me a little bit. But I'm going to turn it over to these guys, let them explain who they are, what they do, and how this can help all of you guys, with your investor clients, all of your clients who think would love to get into investing, but just don't know how to do it. It's out of their reach. I'm not the professional investor. I don't want to be a landlord. There's all these different things that we hear, and these guys can help turn all that around for them, for their futures, and you can be the leeway to help them get there and benefit from that as well. So anyway, Steve and Earl, Steve and Kevin, I appreciate you guys being here. It is great to see you guys. So it's been a while.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. It's actually been just over 3 years since we joined EXP and the Freedom Team. And if you're on this call, you know how amazing the Freedom Team is. Jeff and Sean and Kathy and others who kind of lead out here. They provide so many tools and resources and opportunities to learn and help grow your business. It really is fantastic. We've gotten to know the leadership team pretty well as we've attended events and interacted with them. In fact, we had several of them out to our office a couple of years ago and to introduce them to what we do. But moving over to EXP is probably one of the best things that we did from an organizational standpoint. Just the structure of how we operate has been enhanced. The whole transactional system has been fantastic for us. We do a lot of transactions, and so that part of the business is good. We're a really unique organization. We don't have a lot of agents. I actually am the only licensed agent in our organization. Everything flows through me. We have a small team of individuals who help do everything that we do. For 18 years now, Kevin and I, we're business partners. We've been helping regular, hardworking Americans invest in real estate. Our whole business is it's 100% transactional. We do provide a lot of ancillary services, education. We have all kinds of tools and resources that our clients can take advantage of. Um, and and so we got started 18 years ago, and I'm gonna ask Kevin to kind of share who we are and what we do. But before we jump into that, maybe just a little bit of additional context for this conversation. Um, we joined EXP 3 years ago in April. One of the things that I was excited about EXP was, there's this thought that if we were our own brokerage before, we didn't, so we didn't have to pay out any splits or anything like that. But when I understood, the whole icon agent thing, I realized that actually it could be a total win-win-win where we could actually make more money by being a part of EXP than it would cost us. And so over the last, I guess it's only been 2 years, you guys. So, but I just iconed for the third time. It usually takes about a month and a half or so to icon for me because of the number of transactions that we're doing. This year was slightly different. It's tough out there. I don't know if you guys are experiencing the same thing that I am, but business is slightly down. Um, Transactions across the board are just slightly slower. Well, not slightly slower, a lot slower for most agents. I saw a stat at the beginning of this year from the NAR that I was blown away with this. That 71% of real estate agents across this country in 2024 did zero transactions. And that's just an indication of, the market, generally speaking, is just a lot slower. Um, I do feel very fortunate, very grateful that that we happen to be in the business that we're in. Investors are still buying, fortunately, and what's cool about it is that having come out of COVID, where there were multiple offers in every situation, it's pretty awesome right now. There are no multiple offers, and there are lots of properties, and we get concessions on every single property that we're helping our clients purchase. And because of these conditions, even though interest rates are slightly higher, they're really not. They're not high. They're pretty typical uh, uh, interest rates right now. But for the general public, they feel like they're still high. The bigger problem is that prices have gone up so dramatically that it's made it much more difficult to buy real estate, whether for yourself or investing. Um, and so because of those conditions, Kevin and I have actually picked up more properties in the last 3 years than we have in probably the previous 15 years combined because the opportunity is so good right now for buying. So having said that, I think it'd be really helpful, Kev, if you want to kind of share maybe just a little bit about our history and what it is that we do to help our clients, how we do it. We have clients in 42 states now. Um, we typically do several hundred transactions per year, and uh, we've helped our clients purchase more than 5,000 homes, and we've kind of vertically integrated with a number of things. So Kev, why don't you go ahead and share that, and then we can kind of take it from there, and maybe share how real estate agents, generally speaking, can take advantage of investment real estate to just add that to their business. It doesn't have to be their whole business. You can continue to specialize in what you do and just add investment real estate to your business.
Yeah, awesome. Well, first of all, hello everybody. Thank you for those of you that have your cameras on so I can see what you look like. I'm sorry, I'm not better looking. I always feel bad about that. It's like turn your cameras on and then you look at me. And then see, Sean just turned his off. He's like, I don't want you looking at me either. I'm just kidding. No, it's really good to be with everybody. This is awesome. And Jeff, thank you so much for having us. So look, Steve and I wanted to show up here today, and I just want to get it out of the way and help you guys understand what my hope is for you. We're going to try to give you a bunch of awesome free tools and just free stuff that can hopefully help you in your agent business. It's completely non-obligatory. It's just stuff that we've developed. It's things that we've got a whole entire software suite that we're just gonna just give everybody. I hope that that's okay. Steve and I also wrote a book just this last year called Micro Wins to Millions, and I'm gonna make sure that everybody today has a copy of this. If you want an audio, digital, if you want a physical copy, I'll send you a physical copy. If you want it to be completely worthless, we're happy to sign it. It's about what that signature does is makes it feel a little less awkward, a little more awkward when you go to burn it for kindling. Done For You Real Estate is a company, like Steve mentioned, we've been around for nearly 20 years, and all we do is simple conservative real estate investments. That's it. And we primarily work with just busy, hardworking Americans that know that they want all the benefits of real estate investment, but they just don't generally have the expertise or the time to be able to go and do it themselves. Just to give you kind of a little bit of background of where we came from, why this whole thing started. Steve's version of the story is probably the right version. I'll tell you what I feel like happened. And this is literally back in 2007. I was doing mortgages. So that's all. I was on the phone. I was calling. I was trying to just get people to transact real estate, and I would do the mortgage. And through that process, I got introduced to Steve, who was a really successful agent even then, as well as a couple other buddies. And the idea ultimately developed from this thought. Back in like 2007, 2008, there were so many real estate education courses. By the way, if you have your camera on by show of hands, how many of us here have bought real estate education courses? And then read them and said, that was really good information. I have no idea what to do. So we saw there were so many people buying real estate education courses, but then they weren't doing real estate. And so the idea was, what if we could just take, Steve was a successful agent. I was good at mortgages. The other guys that we were working with had some skill sets when it came to real estate and investment. And the thought was really simple. What if we could go and do all the work for everybody and still let them own investment real estate successfully? And we would get compensated through the real estate commission, through the mortgage commission, just through the natural way that we as real estate professionals get compensated. And that's exactly what we did. We were largely a Utah-based company doing Utah real estate with Utah people. Steve always had a bigger vision. My vision did not extend past the county in which we live. I didn't really think it would go beyond that. I got to tell you guys, because I'll never forget this. We get this phone call, and there's a point to this, I promise you. We get this phone call. I get this phone call out of the blue one day from Anchorage, Alaska. And this guy is calling me from Alaska, and he says, "Are you the real estate guys that are there in Utah?" And I said, "I think so." He said, "Hey, I want to buy a property in Utah." And I didn't even understand if I could help this guy living in Alaska to do the kind of real estate that we'd been doing in Utah. And all of a sudden, our whole world opened up. We started to get referrals from our clients in Utah that were referring friends and family from all over the country to just get some real estate done simply. And we started to grow. And to this day, we are largely a referral-based business. That is how we've been able to really grow as a company. We've done marketing along the way. I've really cut my teeth from an internet marketing standpoint, funnels, websites. I know that stuff inside and out. And I will tell you, we have spent, I don't know how many tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. No, it is. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars that we've spent learning and creating websites, funnels, traffic, you name it. And I will tell you, to this day, the single greatest source of business that we have ever had, bar none, even having spent years and years and years as a professional marketer, the best thing we've ever done has been referral-based business. I got to tell you, I mean, we've done everything. That is the greatest thing. So for us, our business today is largely predicated upon how do we help clients successfully transact real estate and then have such an awesome experience that they feel compelled to tell their family and friends. And that's like 75 to 80% of our transactions are our existing clients doing additional real estate and referring family and friends. There's a small percentage that come from marketing or SEO efforts, or whatever that case may be. And we do a podcast, and we wrote the book, and we've got a great website and all of that. But I'm just telling you guys, just from one real estate lover to a whole bunch of others, the single greatest thing you'll do to grow your business will be to cultivate relationships and to be really excellent at what you do. And that's what we've had to do. And so now we've been doing this for nearly 20 years, and the process is pretty simple. We've expanded beyond Utah. We help our clients. Clients come to us. They want to own investment real estate. They're not sure how to do it. And so we put a game plan together for them. We help them see that there's a really clear path from wherever they are to getting to 10 properties, which is really key, because that means that we've got repeat transactions. A client walks through the door and they're not going to stop until they've done multiple transactions with us, because they are looking, to really grow a real estate portfolio over time. They're not looking to just do a single transaction. And we found that that's a really excellent piece. And that's just I'm sure you all have discovered this, but I will tell you, any client that you work with, if you can put whatever transaction they are doing with you, okay, I don't care if they're buying, I don't care if they're selling, if it can be a piece of a much larger picture in real estate, that's where you start to generate repeat business. It's not an individual one-off transaction, it's a part of a bigger whole. And so that's been something that I feel like we've been really good at with our clients. And let me just kind of talk you through what the process is. So our clients, we give them a game plan. We help them see how they could get to 10 properties. And then we begin. We help them take a look at multiple markets. We function in 6 markets right now. We're helping our clients buy real estate in Texas, in Georgia, in Indiana, in Florida, in Oklahoma, and in Tennessee. Those are the majority of the areas where we're helping our clients buy real estate. We help them find a pathway, get them pre-approved, because we own a mortgage brokerage. We get them pre-approved, and then we're shopping. We're looking at properties. We've got our teams in the market that are finding qualified deals that fit the done-for-you real estate kind of box. And let me just share that. We called our book Micro Wins to Millions, the Moneyball Real Estate System. This will just give you guys a flyby of how we view real estate. Everything we do are 3-bed, 2-bath, 2-car garage homes in awesome areas that are appealing to middle-class folks. And the reason for that is we find that there's a little bit less risk that people sort of feel when they're buying the kind of real estate that's the most popular in the whole country. And so we have a pretty narrow buy box. We are looking for real estate singles. That's all we do. We don't do massive, multifamily deals. We're not doing syndications. We are doing one-off, one-by-one properties, single-family rentals with our clients. And these are largely long-term rentals. We call it Moneyball Real Estate because we're looking to get on base with real estate. We're not looking to hit home runs. And our clients love that mentality. So once we get them pre-approved, once we get them a game plan, once they know kind of the path in which they're going, we help them look at properties that we've already vetted, that are already solid potential opportunities, get them under contract, get them financed, get them closed. We then have our property management team that is going in and doing all the rehab, getting the property rented out. And what's awesome is our clients, obviously, taking title of the property, making 100% of the appreciation, 100% of the, cash flow. We don't own that with them. We're not a turnkey company. We are facilitators of excellent real estate with our clients over an extended period of time to help them become real estate millionaires. That's what we do. And it has been an incredible opportunity for these individuals who never would have dreamed of owning real estate. Now, why am I sharing this with you and why I think this might be important is quite simply this. The vast majority of clients that we work with, they're only doing real estate for one reason, because we painted a pathway forward and then we gave them everything they needed to make it as easy as possible, as opposed to just trying to sell real estate. And that has been something that has been, really, really beneficial. Anything you want me to add to that, or anything you want to add to that, Steve, as far as just what that process looks like?
Yeah, I'd probably add this is I think that, and I would imagine that with this group, you're on this call here today, that you have a very similar mentality as what we have. and that is, really taking care of the client. Like Kevin mentioned, the vast majority of our business is repeat business and their referrals. And the way that we've been able to accomplish that is our relationship with them and the work that we do with them and for them does not end when they close on this property. What we do post purchase is we have an optimization team where over the long run, we're helping our clients optimize that property. We're helping them understand what their next steps would be. What we have found is that about every 5 to 7 years, and that varies depending on the real estate market, the cycle, is when somebody has gained enough equity that they can take one property and turn it into two. And then 5 to 7 years later, they can take those two and turn it into four, and then turn those four into eight. And so within, a 15 to 20 year period of time, just starting with one property, adding no new additional capital to their plan, they could have a portfolio of nearly 10 properties. And that's our goal for our clients. And at this point, we've done this literally hundreds of times. One of the things that I think that we're most proud of is we really do work with just regular, everyday, hardworking Americans. Occasionally we have somebody who has like mega resources and they buy tons of homes, but typically we're working with people who are just trying to figure it out and trying to prepare for retirement and so on. But over the last 18 years, we have helped to create more than 400 real estate millionaires, with hundreds more in the pipeline who are working to get there. A typical, just to share a really, I'll just share a really short example of this is what we're striving to do with our clients, and this is what we've done like more than 400 times. So, my own son, he wanted to get investing in real estate when he was young. He was working for us, doing some research for us. And he's like, "Hey, Dad, I want a game plan. I want to buy some real estate." He was like 16 years old. I was like, "Well, you got to start saving your money. You got to prepare your credit and get ready to buy yourself." And so 4 years later, right before he turned 20, he purchased his first property. And to make a long story short, over the next 13 years, he's taken that initial property that he saved up his own money for to purchase a property, and he turned that into two, and then he turned it into four. He now owns eight. He owns seven properties. Last year, those seven properties cash flowed more than $5,000 per month, and from his initial investment, the equity in these seven doors is more than $1 million. And he did that all while going to school, getting a law degree, and he's an attorney now in New York. And he'll continue to build that portfolio. But he's 33 years old and has a real estate portfolio with a net worth of over $1 million. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to help our clients understand and do. And along the way, one of the other exciting things for me is to help our clients do the exact same thing. Is where they understand and have enough experience and education in this that they then can teach their children, that they don't have to succumb to what the media would tell them. It's like, oh, you have to go into massive debt to go to school, and then you're going to be in debt until you're 40 years old to pay off those loans, or you're going to hope that the government, uh, forgives that debt or something. It's like, no, you can do this while you're going starting at a very, very young age. And we have the other end of the spectrum. We have individuals who didn't get started until they were into their 70s, and to where they built a portfolio within a 10-year period of time of a significant equity position where they own 10 properties, and they did it in about 10, 11 years. Now they're in their 80s, and they had no idea how they were going to retire. And through real estate, by hitting these singles one property at a time, being patient, and just hitting these singles, they transformed their retirement years and set up their family, their heirs, for generational wealth. There are so many benefits to real estate that you cannot get anywhere else. We won't dive into those weeds, but there are some incredible tax benefits to doing this right. All the way from the 1031 exchanges to when you do leave your properties to your heirs, them getting a step up in basis where they can continue to a step up in basis where they then can start over on their deferred tax depreciation, tax expensing, and so on into the future. But anyways, so I don't want to dive too much into the weeds. We wanted to keep this high level because we want this to be super relevant to you and what maybe could help you in your business today, because we know that although on average EXP agents are doing significantly better than the rest of the industry, it's still a massive struggle out there. And our thought is that perhaps if you could learn the real estate conversation and how to have a very simple conversation, because the one thing that I have found is that all roads lead to real estate. In fact, I believe that so fervently that I bought that URL. I've never done anything with it, but I'm like, it's like maybe one day we will. All roads lead to real estate, and and the cool thing about being real estate agents is that conversations come up all the time, just naturally. You're at some event, you're at a, I don't know, some kind of a networking event, and people are like, well, what do you do? Oh, I do real estate, and this is what I specialize in. Inevitably, somebody will say, well, what do you think about this market? Isn't it such a horrible time for real estate? It's like, no, today is one of the best times in the history of this country to be investing in real estate. Have you ever thought about investing in real estate? And you get a conversation going, and just like that, you now have an opportunity to add real estate investing to your business with no marketing spend, nothing. It's a matter of being able to have a coherent conversation where somebody trusts your knowledge, your ability to have that conversation. And we'll talk to this a little bit here, and he's gonna share some of these tools that we have available that we're just gonna give to you guys that hopefully might make the conversation easier for you. So, Kev, do you want to jump into that?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Can I jump
Jeff
in real
got
quick,
something.
Kevin,
Please.
just to throw out because here's what I want you guys to be thinking about. Okay, some of you are brand new, just licensed in the last couple of months. You're trying to get your businesses going, all this stuff. We got all different, levels of agents here in terms of how long you've been in the business. Everybody on here can take advantage of this with, people that friends, family, past clients if you've been in the business for a while, coworkers from the job you came from and now you're doing real estate. There's just be thinking about people and making a list of people that you could talk to about this idea. Because here's what happens, and you're going to see this in a minute. When anybody that you send to these guys who wants to get into real estate. And again, what I love about this is it's done for you. I love that because I've had rental properties here in town and I don't want to be a landlord. But I love that I can go to these guys, or send people to these guys, and they're buying in Texas, Georgia, Indiana, Florida, Tennessee. It's completely out here, and it's just the cash flow is working, but let me say this again. You're going to see this. You guys get paid every time one of these people buy a house. You get the referral fee. It comes back to you. Okay, I got 2 this month, and I'll share. Well, here, I'll just show you right now. Can I say this, Kevin, real quick? I'll just go to this. So this last month, my wife and I, we had some clients. They contacted us. I think it was through our Google business page. This was back about, 8 months ago. They found us 9 months ago. And they had lived here before in Colorado Springs. They moved to Atlanta, and they kept their house here as an Airbnb. Well, they did it for about 6 months. They're like, we went out of the Airbnb thing. We're just not there. It's just too much. And they found us on Google. They flew out here. We met them at the house. We listed the house and sold the house. While we were there on that listing appointment, they had talked about how they want to buy some more properties. They're just not sure. They don't want to do it in Colorado. The laws here have gotten crazy and prices and all this stuff. And I just mentioned it just briefly. I mean, it was just like in the conversation, hey, you should talk to these guys, Done For You Real Estate. And I gave them the website. That was pretty much, honestly, that was it. These guys, they know what they're doing. I kind of explained it in about 2 minutes, briefly what they do. So anyway, about, 3 weeks ago or so, I get 2 emails from Done For You with a referral form that I need to sign and send back to EXP because, and I'll just show you right here. Let me go here to this. Hold on a second. Oh, come on. Right here. So here's what happened then, on the 17th of July, direct deposit into my account. I had to hide my account number. Don't trust you guys. I'm just kidding. But anyway, right. But $1,500 right there. And then on the 24th, a week later, another closing for $1,955. So here's, I don't know, whatever that is, $3,500, that was just direct deposit into my, and honestly, it came out of nowhere. Like, I mean, who would take that? That's nice, right? I'll take it. And again, here's some people that we worked with 6 months ago, and all of a sudden I get this thing out of nowhere from these guys that, hey, you're getting a referral because they're buying 2 properties with us. I had a guy about a year and a half ago, a past client of mine. He now lives in Japan. He called me up, hey, Jeff, I wanted to start doing some investing in Colorado Springs. And I told him, we met on Zoom. He's in Japan. And I said, look, I'll be honest, his name was Jeff also. I said, Jeff, just to be honest, like I can't, in my good conscience, recommend that you buy a property here in Colorado Springs. Here's what's going on. Here's the changes since you've left 5 years ago. Here's the laws. Here's all the stuff. I'd make more money if you buy a property here with me, but you need to go to these guys. They know what they're doing. Just check it out. See if it's for you. I'm happy to help you here or whatever. But he went to them, and sure enough, he bought a property in Indiana. That was in December, like 3 or 4 months ago, or 6 months ago. And I ended up getting 8 months ago. I ended up getting the referral fee for that. And chances are he'll buy more. He wants to buy more. Tim and Gwen, who just bought, they will be buying more properties with these guys over the next several years. Every time they buy, who's going to get the referral fee on that? I am, because my name is attached to them for the entire time that they're connected to Done For You. So just be thinking about who do you know that would love to get some of their retirement in real estate. They just don't know how. They think it's out of their reach. They don't want to be a landlord. They've had bad experiences in the past maybe and pulled out. It's like, you need to just pay attention to what's going on here and be making a list of those people you could just refer to the website, which I put in the chat here, and you send them to these guys. They'll set up a consultation with them, and you're going to get paid every time those people buy a house for as long as they're buying homes with Done For You. These guys are awesome what they're doing. So go ahead.
No, Jeff, it's phenomenal. And I work directly with Tim and Gwen, just to give you guys an idea. So this couple that Jeff just mentioned, okay, Jeff, over the last 2 months, how many conversations have you had with Tim and Gwen in order to get those checks deposited?
0. I haven't talked to them in 6
Guess how many
months.
I've had? Guess how many I've had? Dozens. I was in China for 10 days with my daughter, and I had to download an app so that I could text them as they were putting properties under contract and working with our agents in the market. I have been on the phone with them for hours. Now, I love it because Tim and Gwen are awesome. And they are going to go do more real estate. They own a property in Louisiana. It's not time to sell it yet. In the next couple of years, they're going to sell it. We're going to do a 1031 exchange, go get a couple more. You may not even be aware of that, Jeff, until it hits your account. But this is what we've tried to create with this system. The real estate itself is simple and conservative, and it just flat out resonates with the majority of people. And so what Jeff is saying, and what I would highly, encourage you guys to do as well, is as you're talking, you don't have to change your business at all. As you're talking to people, as you're working with somebody, and they're listing a home. This is a great example. So with Jeff, this couple, they listed the home. Jeff sold the home. Jeff, you got a commission on the sale of the home. Tim and Gwen, because they lived there, they did not have to pay capital gains, but they didn't want to spend the money. And so they came to us and they put all of the money that they made on the home into 2 investment properties. And then it'll just continue to perpetuate itself. And they're phenomenal clients. I had such a good time working with them. And so you may be talking with somebody, they may be listing, they may be selling. It may be an investment property, it may be a primary residence. They're going to have dollars. They want to look to retirement. They want to figure out a way to generate some long-term income. All of a sudden now, you could say, hey, you know what? I don't even know, if you want to talk to these guys or not, but let me just give you their website. You could downplay it all you want. Here's what I know. They go to the website and they see a little of who we are and what we do. I'm going to get on the phone with them. I'm going to talk to them about what this is. And then we have designed an entire process, soup to nuts, A to Z, to create an incredible experience for these individuals and to make it as easy as possible for them to transact real estate, which means we've tried to make it as easy as possible for you to add a layer to your existing business doing nothing different where you can generate residual income. That's it. That's it. We just want to make it as easy as we can for you to generate some residual income from the efforts that you're already putting in. This is just a layer that you add on top if you feel so inclined. If the conversation comes up about investment real estate, you don't have to be the expert. You don't have to be listening to Bigger Pockets 24/7. You don't have to know every type of, investment strategy under the sun and which markets are good and which markets aren't good. You may live in a market where you're like, yeah, it doesn't really make sense to invest in real estate in this market. Send them to the website. You could send them directly to me. I'm going to give you, I'll give everybody, in fact, I'll just drop it in the chat.
Yeah, Kev, I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
we like we're we're pretty simple and we're very relationship based. Uh, you can send them to the website, yes, do that. But the most effective way is to do what Jeff did, which is he sent us an email introducing, he's like, hey, hey Jeff, here's my friends at Done For You Real Estate. Here's Kevin Clayson and Steve Earle, James Schumann. You can just click the link when they respond back to you. You can schedule at your convenience to learn a little bit more and go from there. So like a warm handoff via an email, that's as sophisticated as we need to get. And we found that works the best when referring. So maybe you can just share some of those details.
Yeah. So I just, in the chat, I dropped my email on my cell phone. Send me a text. Hey, I've been working with so-and-so. They're kind of interested in investment real estate. Wanted to introduce you guys. I will take it from there. You sit back. If they're qualified and able, we'll go do all of the work and you'll get checks. I hope that's okay. That's literally what this process is designed to do. Why? Because we all know people that want to generate real estate retirement income, but just aren't sure the safest or easiest path to do it. We've tried to solve for that so that, you don't have to. It just means you get to stay busy and good at what you're good being busy at. And we get to do the same. We just have a slightly different vertical. And so you could send them an email. Hey, I've been working with so-and-so. Meet Kev. He's one of the founders, one of the owners of Done For You Real Estate. Neat guy, whatever, bald guy, whatever you want to say. He's ugly. I don't care. You send the email, send the text, and we'll take it from there. And then what's going to happen is when that individual starts to move forward and go through the process, we'll loop you in and you'll get checks. Now, let me also say this. Some of you may be looking at this, and I hope you're not just looking at it as a simple and easy way to generate some additional income just for your real estate business. But if you're out there and you're crushing it and you're doing real estate and you guys are doing all of the things you should do, I would just pose the question, are you a product of your product? I always tell this story. Because it's just so, for me, it's so representative of what I mean by this. So when I was in college, I worked at Nordstrom and I sold men's shoes. Anybody here work at Nordstrom, by the way? Anybody here ever sold shoes? Raise your hand if you sold shoes like me. Yeah, Brad, let's go. How many feet have you measured? I have touched so many sweaty socks. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that was before hand sanitizer was such a thing. So I was in college. I was working at Nordstrom, and what they'd have us do at Nordstrom, I was in a suit. I'm a college kid. I'm trying to sell shoes, and I was paid on commission. And we had two pairs of shoes on the floor that were like $300 to $400 each. So of course, I wanted to sell those shoes because I was going to make the most money. And they were really nice dress shoes. Now, here's the thing. I tried for months to sell, they're called Allen Edmonds. I tried for months to sell pairs of Allen Edmonds. Nobody bought. Kid you not. So you know what I did? I started to save my pennies and my commissions, and I knew that Nordstrom had a half yearly sale, and I knew that I could use my employee discount on top of the sale price, and I could get a pair of Allen Edmonds for like $100 and something. So guess what? I saved up and I bought two pairs of Allen Edmonds, okay? A burgundy and a black, all right? And you know what? Those are the only shoes that I wore. And here's what happened. As soon as I started to wear Allen Edmonds, I sold them like hotcakes because now I was speaking from experience and now I was a product of the product. It was insane. I took time. I saved up. I started to wear the shoes so that I could speak from experience. I'm sure all of you are right smack dab in the middle of your awesome careers, and I hope you're investing in real estate. The more real estate you're buying and you're engaged in personally, the easier it's going to be to have real estate conversations, and the easier it's going to be to have an investment real estate conversation, to make a quick suggestion and a quick introduction, and then generate kind of hands-off referral income. So I just kind of wanted to share that because I hope that all of you are a product of your product, and that you continue to do the thing that you're out there talking to people about on a regular basis. Now, what I'm going to do is okay. You guys all right if I just give you some cool free stuff? Is that okay? If anybody doesn't want cool free stuff, then just, I don't know, go in the chat and tell me I smell funny. And then you don't get free stuff, but everybody else does. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen real quick. I'm just going to show you guys something. So the only purpose in giving you this stuff, guys, is this is literally plain and simple. I hope these tools and I hope this helps you, okay? It's completely free. It's really easy to access. I'm going to show you exactly what you need to do, and you're going to have unfettered access to everything I'm about to show you for as long as you want it, okay? There's you're not going to have to pay anything. There's no free trial. This is literally, you get this, do what you will with it. This is our website. You'll notice there's a login button, okay? The login button is going to take you to a page that looks like this. You can either hit that login button, or you could go to RE Wealth, so Real Estate Wealth League.com, okay? I'll drop that in, here, I'll drop that in the chat just real quick. Oh my goodness. Of course. RE Wealth, I probably spelled it wrong. There we go. One day I'm going to learn to spell. It's going to be nice. When you go to rewealthleague.com, I'm just putting it in the chat real quick, and hopefully I'll spell it right in the chat. What it's going to take you to is it's just going to be a login screen. You'll have to set up a login. As soon as you log in, it's going to show you this screen. Now, all this is just a community that we've built on Go High Level. And what I really want to show you is when you click on learning, okay, it's a community. You could come in here, you could chat, you could do all the things. But when you click on learning, these are all courses that we've put together, okay? But the thing that I really want to show you, as awesome as these courses are, there's two things that I really want to show you. Number one, when you come down here to books, okay? I haven't joined the group yet. Let me actually log in, not incognito, and then I'll show you. So you'll have to, when you come here, when you come to just the main page and you hit join group, okay, that should now give you access to everything. I don't think I have any gateways set up, but you should just be able to access it. Yeah, I just got the email that said welcome. So as soon as it loads, I will show you. Okay, so when you come down here to books, you can click open. And what this is, these are just resources for you that I hope I hope all of you are reading amazing books on a regular basis. I hope you're engaging with books on a regular basis. And of course, my internet doesn't want to load right now because I'm trying to demonstrate this thing to you. Come on. Oh my goodness. There we go. Here you've got Micro Wins to Millions, the book that Steve and I wrote, and we did a video book. I'm like, there's video podcasts, we might as well do a video book. There's the audio book. We give you a little, if you want to listen to the audio book on Spotify, we show you how to do that. You can read the ebook, and I gave you guys my email and my cell in the chat. If you want a physical copy of the book, signed or not signed, just email me, kevin@dfy-realestate.com, and get me your address, and I'll put one in the mail for you. We also have in here Think and Grow Rich, and we read the audiobook, the ebook, and assessment guide, Science of Getting Rich, which I highly recommend. And then we have some other cool stuff like a master class where Steve and I just teach all of the principles in the book. The only reason I'm showing you this is if you want to have the real estate investment conversation, the best thing you could do is just immerse yourself in some investment real estate content. And this is a great place to start. And hopefully it'll give you, a little bit of a feel of who we are and what we do so that as you're interacting with your clients, as you're listing, as you're buying in your local markets, as you're growing your real estate business, building your EXP team, if anybody says investment real estate, you're like, oh man, I'd love some hands-off income. Make the introduction. You'll kind of at least know who we are and what we do. So there's all this cool stuff. Okay. There's other classes. This is a book that I wrote almost 10 years ago, Flip the Gratitude Switch. I give you that as well. Just for fun. We've sold it in more than 24 countries. It saved at least 3 lives. It's been we've sold thousands and thousands of copies of Flip the Gratitude Switch. And so it's a great kind of personal development book, especially when real estate's hard. This is a great book to kind of help you push through. But the thing that I really was excited to show you is this one. When you go to tools and resources and you click open, what this is what effectively is a calculator / software suite of tools that we have built that you can use. I don't know why. I usually don't use Firefox. For some reason, I'm in Firefox, and I feel like it's having a little bit of struggles. Okay, here we go. These are awesome tools. Okay, you could go through. If it has, we've got time to retirement using stocks. Okay, if you're talking to somebody and they're wondering about whether they should do real estate or whether they should do stocks or bonds, you could come and use this calculator. What's their current age? When did they want to retire? What's their current annual income? What's the desired retirement income from investments? What's their current savings? How much are they saving? How much is stock allocation? And it'll show them their projected retirement age and their projected portfolio value. Okay. If you're talking to somebody or you yourself are wanting to use these tools, sorry, I hit the wrong button. And you want to say, what could I do? If you want a quick mortgage calculator, it's right there. Tax advantage income. This is really cool. This is a cool calculator. You could put in the annual household income, the amount of income that goes towards retirement, what their tax filing status is and the state, and then how many years until they want to retire. And then it'll calculate. I'll just show this to you. Let's just say you have somebody, it's $100,000. And let's say, they put $10,000 towards retirement. They're married, filing jointly in Utah. And let's say they want to retire in 25 years and you hit calculate. It's going to say, okay, your current gross income, 100,000. This is your tax burden. You're going to need 79,000 of tax-free income, or you're going to need 150,000 of regular you're going to need 150,000 of required tax-free income in order to maintain your current standard of living, assuming that you're not being hit with tax burdens. Real estate, by the way, is a great way to generate tax-free income. If you do not know how to generate tax-free, I'm not talking about 1031 exchanges. I'm talking about the ability to generate tax-free income from real estate that you own. If that is something that you are unaware of, you can actually go into the learning, and there's a couple of courses in there. It's a system we call Buy, Borrow, and Beyond. We also have a future value calculator. This is really cool. If somebody's considering investing in real estate, you could say, all right, let's say you have this much that you're investing. What would it do in real estate? What would it do in the stock market? What would it do in cash? And it will show them so that you can kind of compare and contrast. This doesn't have to be for real estate. You could use this for other investments. My encouragement is that you just go in and play around with these. One of the really cool ones that I love is this one we spent a lot of time on. This is the game plan tool. Let's say that I have 15 years till I want to retire. I need 25 years to live in retirement. I want to invest in real estate. I'm going to reinvest, all of my gains from real estate, and I'm going to generate rental income. That's my goal. Let's say I buy a home today for $275. Let's say I buy that in 3 months, 25% down payment, 6.5% interest rate. I can add property. Then let's assume that I'm going to buy another home that's $295,000. I'm going to do it 12 months from now, and I'm going to add that property. And then you can run a simulation. And what it's going to show you is it would take you $188,000 to start that portfolio with 2 properties. Your portfolio value 15 years from now will be 2.2 million. Your equity will be over $1 million. At that point, you'll have 4 properties. And then over here, it'll show you how much total cash flow over 25 years you could generate. And it'll even break it down month by month. And you could go through and look month by month how much income would be generated. Now, you could also go back. I'm just going to show you this. Don't worry, except instead of rental income, what if I want it to be tax-free income, utilizing refinances and buy, borrow, and beyond? And then I run the simulation, and then all of a sudden I've got 2.3 million in tax-free equity income over 25 years from the same portfolio. So really cool tools that are available. I'm going through them really fast. I want to be able to answer questions, but I just want you to see. Come in, click around on these things. There's some incredible tools that are available. There's all of these courses that are available. You could go through. It's a great way for you to get up to speed, to really learn about real estate investment for you personally, or just to get to wet your whistle for clients. And maybe you want to make an introduction. Maybe you want to do investment real estate in your local market. These will still help you have that real estate investment conversation. So I hope that everybody's okay with that. rewealthleague.com. You can log in, join the group. All of this is available to you. It's totally free. And it's just something we wanted to give you. If you want a physical copy of the book, email me or text me, and I'm happy to send it to you. So anyway, just wanted to go through and share that with you real quick.
Kevin, there's a couple questions as far as when you go to that site, it does take you to a login page. What's the login, or how do we get in there?
You create your own login.
Just create it. Okay.
Yeah, so you could use Google, or you just create your own login, and then it's just free. Yeah, you don't have to put in anything other than like name and email, pick your password, and you're good to go.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Sean, do you want to jump in real quick and just share, because I know you bought a property with these guys here just a while back. Right?
Yeah. And first of all, Kevin, thank you guys, both of you, man. You and Steve. It's been awesome working with you guys. And I'll just say this, because it was mind-boggling when I first met you guys and realized what you were doing. Back when the market was a little bit better, back a year and a half, 2 years ago, just to put in perspective, I remember when I first heard this, they were selling 40 to 45 homes per month. Just to put it in perspective, the credibility that led to me. And then Kelly Fasterling's the first one who obviously brought Done For You to us. And I don't know if you guys can elaborate on what Kelly Fasterling has accomplished in the last 10 to 15 years is mind-boggling. I want to say in the last, 5 to 10 years, Kevin, you guys correct me, over 90 properties she's been involved with, but not just for herself and her family and her kids. Hasn't she had well over 100 plus referrals, like Jeff just shared, where he got that $3,500 from the deposit? Isn't she well over 100 plus referrals? I think she told me she's almost having at least one a month now happening, where she gets a deposit of a couple $1,000. You guys correct me. I don't know where Kelly's at with this whole thing. Wish she was on here, but it's unreal to think what she's done for her family. She got her kids involved at an early age and all that. So she got a little testimony here. You might want to.
I had her, she's on this ship right now with those guys in the conference. Here, listen to what she said here real quick.
Hey, Freedom Team. This is Kelly. I am in Miami boarding the Build at Sea cruise, and I wanted to give a quick shout out to my friends Kevin and Steve at Done For You Real Estate. I have been using their services now since 2011. I've purchased 20 houses through their services. Love them. I was doing my own thing with Rich Dad Poor Dad, and frankly it was a lot of work and not as great of success. So purchased 20 houses with them. I have 10x'd my portfolio growth. Got to a point that love the asset-based growth, and just really pleased with the level of support, the level of service, having everything done for me, from picking the markets to picking the houses to getting them ready to property managing them. Everything's done. I put up the money. I 100% own the house, and it has allowed me to grow my portfolio and have the support there with them that's been absolutely magnificent. You guys enjoy listening to Steve and Kevin. They're just fantastic. Take care.
So anyway,
if I can elaborate on that, so I bought my first property in December of 23, and I don't know if this is me, if I'm alone on this whole thing, but I'm the guy who read the Robert Kiyosaki books about 15 years ago, always thinking about real estate, going, man, I got to get into some rental properties. I got to get into flipping it. And was so busy with my career, I wasn't taking the time to try to figure out how to learn all that. And then all of a sudden, these guys come into the picture, and I remember thinking, "You got to be, you got to be kidding me! They do everything." And I remember getting online with them in these 6 or 7 different states they mentioned. Go, where do you want to buy from? Looking all around and stuff, and they just had an incredible deal for me in Indiana. That again was so seamless. I had a couple Zoom calls, looked at the property, and from that point forward, bought made come up with my investment money. Since then, all it's been is them helping me. I might every quarter jump on a quick little Zoom for 15 to 30 minutes, see how things are going. I've got cash flow coming in, great tax advantages, equities being built. And now I see myself next year taking advantage of getting a second property. And over the next 6, 8, 10 years, my goal is to have 4 to 5, just to help me with retirement and all that. But just the whole process to me, without me having to go learn a thing, I just simply reached out to these guys. They jump on a couple Zooms, educate you right up my alley. I do not want to do more work when I'm done doing real estate. So, you guys, I can't thank you enough. And it's good for you guys to come back in as a reminder for me to just be talking to other agents. Just bring it up from time to time. You guys can do it with all your past clients. It's a whole nother reason for a conversation. And you guys might just touch on that if they're visiting with a client again, how to just to bring that up and just let them know there is a way for you to get into real estate investing without you really having to do much and just give them the website and a quick little testimony. So again, just wanted a little plug for you guys. Thank you so much. Look forward to working with you guys over the next 6, 8, 10 years to help my family. And I'll do my best to keep educating other agents about what's available and or prospects, clients, anybody. So thank both you guys.
Well, thank you. You're a
Thanks,
good
Sean.
man, Sean.
Who's got some questions or other thoughts, comments, questions? Anybody for these guys while they're here? I love the story about your son, Steve. 13 years later, 16, save up some money. Was it 19, 3 years later when he bought his first one? 20?
Yeah, right before his 20th birthday is when he bought his first property. He bought it out in Arizona, and from there he now has properties. He has sold that one, but he owns a few, two or three in Utah. He owns 2 in Tennessee, 1 in Florida, and he may have 1 in Indiana. Whatever works out to the 7, but yeah, it's been phenomenal for him.
How's
And
it
then
been
my
as
other
far
children
as
have gotten involved as well.
yeah? How's it been as far as the property management? With all that. I mean, you have a company you've worked with for a long time, I think, right? Or you got that in place. I know all over the place.
Yeah, so we have a property management company, Specialized Property Management. They're a regional company. They're phenomenal. We've worked with a lot of property management companies over the years. We've had really great property management, but we brought them in because we wanted a one property management solution so that our clients could have the same experience across all of our markets. And so we are now their single largest client by far. And so we are very integrated with them. We have a weekly call with their boots on the ground and their all of their individual markets. I meet with their CEO on a monthly basis, and so we're very integrated from that standpoint, very closely associated. And like I say, their largest client, so they have dedicated certain resources that don't exist for other clients. So all of our DFY clients have an asset manager, a single point of contact of an individual who you can call with any questions, concerns, that kind of thing, along with the whole team, right, that they have. And their property management is property management. Real estate, it can be messy sometimes. And good property management makes all the difference in the world. Question from Brad.
Is there a profile kind of that you look for in potential clients? I mean, a net worth, I don't know, credit rating, I don't know. Is there some kind of a minimum profile you're looking for?
Yeah, I would say if they have good W-2 income, okay, right? They've got taxable income and they likely have decent credit, as long as they have around $100,000 to work with, that's typically going to be enough and now that could be in existing home equity that they need to refinance at, or that they could get a HELOC for. That may be money in a savings account. That may be money in a 401k that's an old 401k and they want to dump it. They'd rather take the tax hit and put it into real estate and get those types of tax benefits. It could just be in savings. Whatever the case may be, maybe they bought Bitcoin 5 years ago and they're like, I'm gonna cash some of that out. And so as long as they have around 100,000, that's typically enough for the 25% down payment, plus the closing costs, fees, and then some rehab expenses, and some reserves. And then that's usually enough for them to really be able to move forward, with prices being what they are in the markets where we're currently helping them buy right now. Yeah.
And Terry, did you have a question?
I did. First of all, thank you for being here. I'm getting a lot out of it. I appreciate your time. And my question is, what if this is it only geared for investors? Like, let's just say I have a client that's looking to move to, let's say, Indiana, but they actually want to move into the property, but it would be great if it could be a good investment opportunity. Is this only geared for investors, or somebody who maybe maybe the property needs work? Will you guys offer the same setup, or is it mainly geared for investors?
No, we're happy to help and serve. The nice thing is we've got teams on the ground in these areas, and so we could certainly navigate through that, and help them. In fact, one of my favorite conversations to have with somebody, if they don't know how to get started in real estate, is go buy a primary residence and live in it, right?
Yeah.
And then let those benefits start to grow, and now that equity becomes the equity with which you purchase your first sort of traditional investment property.
Right.
And so, yeah, if you have somebody in one of those states and they're looking to move there, get them in touch with me. I'm happy to talk to them and walk them through that process. And then, of course, we'd still pay the referral commission because it's still a transaction close.
Great. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Cool. Any other questions, guys? Anything? We'll wrap it up. Willie had a question as far as, will the Zoom recording be available? It will be available. Okay. I'm going to share my screen one more time because we do have a new website, and I want to make sure you guys know this. Hold on a minute. I should have had this pulled up right here. So, guys, this will be uploaded probably in the next 24 to 48 hours. If you go to freedomteamsupport.com, okay, and we've made this a one-stop shop for everything Freedom Team, everything EXP. Go right up here to the Team Training Calendar tab, up here, the second one over. Second one down, Team Recorded Training. Click on that. It'll take you to our YouTube channel, and all of the trainings are loaded there. This one will be loaded there probably within the next 24 to 48 hours. Okay, there's last week's. I'm talking about the, Jason K had that up. So anyway, that's where you go to find that, freedomteamsupport.com. It'll be there the next, day or two. Okay. Any last thing, Kevin, Steve? We appreciate you being here. I know you guys are busy.
No, thank you so much for having us. It's such a pleasure to be with everybody. However we can serve, please reach out. That's why I gave you my phone number and my email. Feel free to reach out to me. Happy to help. Happy to have a conversation. If you want to go deeper, you've got other questions. However we can serve you, we're here for it. We're all on this team together. We're all trying to make some things happen for our clients. And so however we could be of service to you, please don't hesitate to reach out.